Well, Marvin, welcome to the line.
Yeah, man.
So,
I'm glad you got me here.
yeah, we're here at Dirt World in Houston, Texas.
At the beautiful Hyatt Regency
absolutely
downtown.
beautiful. So, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this podcast with us here. Just a couple of things, tell me some about yourself, what you do, and yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm about 5'8", 195 pounds. Like long walks on the beach.
All right.
And short walks down long, black, freshly paved asphalt roads.
I love it.
Yeah. For real. Father of two. Southwest corner of Wisconsin. We're from an area called the Driftless Driftless region. I'm not a geography buff at all, but the glaciers came down a certain part of all Wisconsin, so what you're used to seeing, all that farmland, right?
Yeah.
Flat cornfields, whatever. We're the corner of that state, and that's where the glaciers stopped. And you got one of those rugs in your house where you stop real fast and it ripples and does that number. That's where we're at. We're in those ripples in a place called River Valley. So born and raised there, graduated there, started my business, asphalt business, Wiscoat, right there. And then went on that route for a while. And now we do a little bit of podcasting and a little bit of video capture and all that stuff.
Cool. One of the things that I wanted to ask you that I think is just kind of interesting with even what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Why is, and I don't want to call it this, but for lack of knowing what to call it, because I'm not as experienced in it as you are.
Yeah.
Why is social media important in the construction space?
Yeah. So this is a deeper one, right? If you had to guess where somebody's eyes looked the majority of the day, where do you think that would be?
Well, if you would have asked me a couple of years ago, I would have been like, the newspaper or the phone book, but I've recently learned that that's not true.
Right.
I would say Instagram.
Right. So on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. People aren't necessarily looking out their windows, seeing a guy on a paver or a roller or excavator going, whoa. But they see it on Instagram, they go, whoa, right? Which is completely preposterous, but that's where the attention is.
Yeah.
So for us to have people, young people, anybody, look at our industries, right, in the construction space, right, and look at it and say, damn, that's cool. We have to be showing that it's cool, right? We're here with Build Wit. Was thankful to have them asked to help partner in bringing people from the asphalt industry here to Dirt World Summit. And I think that connection happened because both of our organizations realized that it's super important in order to keep people interested in working in our industries in the construction space.
Yeah.
And we have to show how fun, interesting, and advantageous it is to work in our spaces, and we do that through social media. That's why it's super important to show what we do through social media, because that's where the attention is, so that's where we got to do it at. So
a little bit of my background, I started an electrical company about 20 years ago now, and never been...
Can we cheers to that, by the way?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next year's my 20th year.
Wow, mine too.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Should be pretty nice, man.
Awesome. Congratulations. Cheers.
What are you drinking, by the way?
This is Johnny Walker Green.
Johnny Walker Green. All right, this is... you guys see limes, and it's pink. This is a gin smash. It's a little... 2 more hours I can get Johnny Walker Green.
I was going to say, mine definitely looks more manly than yours, but that's just, you know.
That's not the first time I've heard that either.
But I don't have any tattoos or anything like that. So,
all right, so it equals out.
Exactly.
Perfect for the frame.
So what would you say to someone like me, like a few years ago at our company, we started to invest in culture and invest in people, and then I had this revelation or this epiphany, so to speak, about social media, and I wanted nothing to do with it. I like to be...
I was just going to say, was the epiphany pretty much, shit, I don't want to do this, but I know I got to do this?
Absolutely, that was the epiphany.
Yep, so that happened to me 2016, probably.
Well, you're way ahead of me.
Yeah. So it was probably 2016, 2015. I'd kind of started to consume it 2015, 2014. And then 2016, I realized, shit, if I don't do this, that means that I know I'm not working and doing what I need to do to maximize my full potential. And my goal in life is to be the absolute best version of myself.
Come on.
So it was like, all right, dude, you got to do this. I was just telling the guys before we went on air, the first video I posted, and I did come out of my house for 2 weeks because I was that anxious. I'm really an introvert at heart. No one would know that now. Super scared of the perception of me, right?
Yeah.
So here I was gonna make this video. Hey guys, if you want to get your parking lot seal coated and line striped, call us. And I was like, half of my face was in the screen, the phone was shaking and shit, and. Dude, looking back now, it's so ridiculous that I had a fear of something that wasn't even there. I tell everybody that. It was like there was this door there, and in my mind, all of these monsters were behind it.
Yeah, come on.
And I was like, oh, I'm not going to open it too much. And I looked a little, I was like, well, shit, there ain't shit really right there. I kept opening it up pretty soon. I was like, damn, it ain't monsters on the other side. It's fucking rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
Cool, let's do this. And from then on, it was just like, all right, man. So that's how it started.
You know, that's... I mean, I'm more in the infancy of that. Probably about 6 or 7 months ago, you know, we started Blackline.
Yeah.
And the team that we brought together told me, you know, you have to do this. You have to be on Instagram. You have to be on LinkedIn. And I don't like that because, like, I don't want people to see that I don't know what I'm doing or that I make mistakes or all those things. And I realize that this is so important for our industry, for the trades. This is such a big deal. That it doesn't matter if I look stupid, because the fact of the matter is, I don't know what I'm doing. I do make mistakes. Yeah. But one of the things, you know, we're here at Dirt World that I've heard Aaron say is that, you know, we shouldn't. I grew up in the industry where they were like, well, you know, you don't talk about your mistakes. You don't reveal that. You don't do that.
Well, you can't. You gotta be macho, dude.
Exactly.
You're the leader.
But no one learns. There are no lessons learned when you don't reveal them. And
bingo.
And we don't grow either. Like you talk about being the best version of yourself, you're not going to grow if you don't actually be open about your mistakes.
Listen, man, you want to come off as genuine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people do you know genuinely have no flaws and never make mistakes?
Not a one.
Right. So
not a one.
You want to come off as genuine? How about you make some mistakes? Have to make adjustments, be uncomfortable, and then make those adjustments the same way any other human being would have to. Next thing you know, you're pretty damn relatable, right? So I was worried about that shit early on. I emulated a lot of people. Dude, I was like, that year I was telling you about, 2016, I must have consumed every piece of Gary Vee content that I could within a 6-month time frame, and that made it undeniable to me that I had to do this, right? So you were talking about worried about looking stupid. Dude, I wear glasses. I'm bald and overweight. Like, I'm already halfway, if not 3/4 away.
I'm not bald, but I got the other ones.
Yeah, you're almost there. You're almost there. Yeah, then you got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
right?
give me time. Blackline might make me go bald. So.
Yeah. So I mean, that was really the epiphany, man. It was something that it's one of those deals, dude, where like. Thankfully, I'm still overweight, but I was a lot heavier, right, within the last year or so. And
can you guys adjust the camera so it's up above my gut? You know, that way no one can see.
There we go.
Yeah.
The thing was, I didn't want to work out, but I knew I fucking had to work out. And I didn't not want to eat the shit I love, but I knew I had to not eat the shit I love.
Listening to Jocko yesterday, it was annoying. Because I'm like, shit.
I know, man. I know. And that's the shit, like, that happened to me. And then I started to run in circles of guys that would hold me accountable to that. And
Come
I was
on.
like, shit, okay.
There's where it is.
This is the same concept. It's the same damn thing. You don't want to do this shit, right?
Yeah.
But we got guys now that have made entire livings and businesses out of not wanting to do shit being what they built it on. Goggins is a huge impact, right, in that regard. Like, dude, you don't want to do it. That's probably the shit that you should be doing, right?
I think, well, one, yes, that is the shit that you should be doing. Absolutely. And I think I want to speak to people
because I don't know how you grew up. Essentially, hope to learn that about you as our friendship grows. But I grew up extremely poor, man.
Yeah.
My father and mother had me when they were 17, essentially orphaned. But my grandmother picked me up like 2 weeks after I was born, right? And we grew up southwest corner, Wisconsin. I grew up in a single wide trailer. The windows were rotted around them. There were holes in the floor and shit. And at 12 years old, I started doing roofing. So 2 doors down, my cousin, his father, who I call dad once in a while now when I get a chance to see him, owned a roofing company. I was 12. He's like, you want to pick up shingles? I'm like,
Come on.
for what? He's like, earn money? I was like, sure. So I go, get done. We put in 8 hours of me picking up shingles, right? He hands me a $20 bill, most money I'd ever seen in my life, dude. I was like, hey, can I come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you can come back tomorrow. And that was it, dude. I was hooked on entrepreneurship right from there, and studied everything he did, learned every aspect that I could about his business, started my own business, and then within a couple of years, he was like, you got to go do your own thing. I'm kind of holding you back. And within a year and a half, I surpassed numbers that he had done over his whole lifetime. And there's this thing, right? I hit that point. I'm like, dude, new truck, buying a house, shit. I don't think I got my Yeezys on today, but I was like, I'm buying all these Nikes that I always wanted. I'm buying all these Adidas I always wanted, everything. And then after a while, dude, I realized I don't really give a shit about that stuff now.
Come on.
But I thought I needed to, right? To show, hey, I made it, I'm a success.
Yeah.
People are so busy with their lives and dealing with so much other shit, they don't really care if you're successful or not, to be honest with you, right? The people who do are other people who want to be successful, and they want to see you succeed because you're friends. Those are the people who care whether
That's
you
the truth,
succeed
man.
or not, right? They're emotionally connected to you. So once that shit happened, dude, I was like, all right, I'm not doing all that shit. It sounds stupid and bogus. And all the people I started hanging out with that had done well for themselves, they weren't doing that shit. They're like, no, I'm reinvesting into my business, or putting it into a Roth IRA, or putting it into my child's college fund. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, I should probably start doing that too, then. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to hang out, are we? So, yeah, that's kind of the MO of how we got there. But that you hit the nail on the head, man. You spend your time getting to success, showing that you're successful, and then now we have to show that we're not perfect in every aspect of what we do. That's uncomfortable as shit. I was okay when I would pour, showing that I was dumb, you know what I mean, and awkward and shit. But now that I'm quote unquote successful and supposed to be, dude, I'm going to be 40 in 2.5 years. You're supposed to have your shit together by that point, right?
Well, then I'm screwed because I'm past 40. So,
well, for some reason I was exposed earlier to social media and shit too. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's the path of it, and you're worried that you're uncomfortable about it. I know a little bit, Josh, because you guys only been doing it 5 or 6 months. But I want you to think about one thing right now. In this room, there's probably, I don't know, I can't see all the way around me, but I'd say 100 people, 120 people. I bet there's 10 of them that have even done what you're doing right now. Maybe 5. So you're already in front of 95% of everybody else in the world by just sitting here recording this podcast right now.
Well, I mean, I'm doing it because it's important.
Yeah, dude, super.
Like everything that's going on right now in our industry, and when I say our industry, I mean construction, I mean dirt world, I mean blacktop, I mean all of that stuff, you know, electrical, plumbing, everything. It's important, and we're not talking about it, and that's where the eyes are. Yeah. The people are looking, like you said, on their phone. That's where they're looking. And we get safe. We begin to build something, and we worry about losing it. Like when I started, I still remember the advice my best friend gave me. He goes, what have you got to lose? And I was poor as shit, but I didn't know it. I mean, when I grew up, I didn't know we were poor. Yeah. But then, you know, I grew up, I got married, and I was like, oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah, I was poor.
Yeah, I was poor.
Yeah.
And so then we started to accumulate and build something. We started to build a reputation and a name. Yeah. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to screw this up. But the fact of the matter is, it's too important.
You know why? You know why you don't want to screw it up? Deep down, in you and I, it's the same reason why, like. So we're doing pretty well, Blacktop Banner. I can't complain.
Come on.
Yeah. No worries. we're selling to our sponsors and our advertisers what we do, and we're selling them for large investments from them, right? I still got buddies that paired with us early on for like $100 a month, right? and I love these guys, and I'm like, you know, guys, like I still want to have a spot for you, but I can't, and it's one of these things. But I also don't want to lose them, because to me, $100 is 5 times more than I made on the first day of work in my entire life. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So there's still that kid that's 12 years old that grew up like that doesn't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
So that was the big fear when I started doing social media. Was like, there's a piece of me that was like, you do this and fuck it up, dude, you're that kid again.
Yeah.
But here's the fact of the matter. You can't ever go back to that kid, because that kid didn't have the knowledge that you and I have gained in 20 years of doing what we do. You know as well as I do, if something happened and we were bankrupt now, like they took all of our shit, how long do you think it would take for you and I to create a successful business to where we're providing what we do? Just providing enough.
Yeah.
Not that long, dude.
Yeah.
We have all the knowledge, all the base. We figured it out. We'd make it happen.
There's a poem by the guy by the name of Rudyard Kipling.
Okay.
And in that poem, he says, the measure of a man, and I'm not going to try to recite the poem to you because I can't remember it all, but the measure of a man.
You already bought me a drink if you start reciting poetry.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I still got my room rented.
The night
here.
is
I'll leave tomorrow.
the night is young yet, man.
Yeah, it's for sure. Yeah, sun's still out. No shit, the night's young.
No, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I read
that's
that.
True. This is true.
But in the poem, he states that the measure of a man is someone who can lose it all and start again. And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, dude, it truly is. You know, like I said, we can make money.
Yeah.
I think what you asked me why we do this, right?
Yeah.
Personally, yes, I do it for my business, for my legacy, and everything. The industries that's given so much to me that I love to give back to. I love to see my friends succeed, and if I'm the guy that's willing to be awkward or whatever and help them promote whatever they do, whether that's our sponsors on the podcast or Aaron, you know, as well, or whoever, I'm totally down for doing that. But I think I'm still getting a commodity out of this, and it doesn't necessarily monetarily. It's me, as I explained to you earlier, trying to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm still unlocking things that I never thought I could do, things that I would make me uncomfortable or embarrass me. They don't do that anymore, and I like this version of me.
Come on.
In the process, way better than the version of me that was comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with keeping going, and you know, I used to give a shit quite a bit about what people think, and I watched guys that wanted to do what we do at Banter. Somebody give them another green label. Do what we do at Blacktop Banter, and they're like, well, I'm just going to throw, you know, $200K at it, and we're going to blow your doors off.
Yeah.
And they did. Technology-wise, camera frame-wise, DSLR cameras, whatever. But there's one thing you can't replicate, and that's the genuine journey of a guy who's went through it. And that's what I realized I had. Some of my mentors were like, they can't buy that. So whether we're recording with a toaster or whether we're recording with the nicest 10K, 12K, 1480K camera and putting our shit together, people want to resonate, and they don't resonate with cool audio clips. They don't resonate with pixel resolution. They resonate with a story that they're familiar with. And we all once we get in the truth. And once we get into knowing each other really, really well, we realize we're a lot more similar than we are different. Yeah. And the journey's almost all the same all the way through.
I totally agree. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to communicate to those who are in our industry is that, all right, you need to stop playing it safe. If you're comfortable, then something's wrong. Yeah. And you know, you mentioned, I forget if you said comfort or complacency, but they're similar in my opinion.
For sure.
And you know, I heard once that comfort is a slow death.
Oh,
that's what it is.
And for sure, that's a life of Joe Rogan says that's a life of quiet desperation.
Come on, yeah.
Right? It's like I got some good friends, right? And I wish better for them, but man, they're going out and getting sloshed every time, every weekend, every night. They're living for Friday, and it's like, why are they doing that? If your life was that awesome, you wouldn't be doing that. Right? Yeah. You'd just be like, hey, we're in the moment. We're making it happen. This is our journey, right? It's because of that quiet desperation, dude. They're just like, I wish there was more than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And the way you get to more is get uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do something, dude. I don't care. You start quilting. Poke your fingers a little bit. Bleed a little bit. Do something. Create a hobby. I don't care what it is, but do something different that challenges you, no matter what it is.
I totally agree.
You guys got the polar plunge where you are?
We do. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you are.
No,
Yeah, that's
I'm
really
not.
uncomfortable. I'll come do it with you. I've never done it yet. Chris was asking me, he's like, dude, you should do polar plunge, because I've been talking about cold plunges, and I'm too much of a pussy to do cold plunges. I'm going to be honest with you with cold plunges. But I get in the shower, like I'll turn it on cold, and I'll be like, choom, choom. And then the next day I'm like, choom, choom. I'll go a little bit longer. Chris was like, dude, you need to do polar plunge.
So
You're gonna do it.
I'm kind of pissed at you right now because we're on camera and you just called me out. I said you need to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
And
I
now,
did. See how I do that?
Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
you
I'm
got
glad.
glasses on.
Yeah.
I've seen it fully from the backside.
Oh my gosh. So I totally will do that with
It's
you.
gonna go downhill fast.
Yeah. It totally is going to go down fast.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. Polar plunge. I'll come down to Pennsylvania and do it with you.
Cool. Yeah, definitely
You guys gonna
Pennsylvania.
set
I don't
that
want
up?
to do it where you live.
No, dude. You try to jump in and it's still ice.
Yeah,
right. You just
exactly.
break your ankle there in Wisconsin. Dude,
Exactly.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Oh my
but
gosh.
Yeah, man. What next?
Well, just so Aaron said something the other day here at the conference, and I believe I said this earlier, but we're at Dirt World, and dude, it's kind of a big deal. This is the first one.
It is kind of a big deal. It's a huge undertaking to do. This winter, I call it my off season, because in the asphalt world in Wisconsin, you work 6 months, you're off 6 months. Sometimes you get 7 months, and you're off 5 months. But in my off season, it's conference season for us in the asphalt world. I go to 2 brand new conferences this year. Dirt World's one of them, and it's a huge undertaking. Like, you're not going off of reputation for the most part.
Yeah.
Like they are with, hey, we create cool content. No one knows if you can build a great summit conference, right? So here we are, but it's a big deal for both of us to be here for the first one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, to that, I mean, maybe this is a little dangerous, but hey, uncomfortable, right?
I'm drinking a gin smash. That's dangerous.
Did you really want to say that on air? Can we bleep that out, that he was drinking a gin smash? You know, I mean, but you work in Blacktop, so that's like pretty intense work.
It's hot.
So they're putting on this conference. What do you think? How are they doing for their first one?
Ooh, there we go. Call me out. I like it. Yeah, I've been to a lot of conferences. None of them have ever been perfect. I'll put it that way. Con Expo this last year came really close. If I have one complaint about Con Expo, it's just too big. I spent 2 days walking. By the time I looked at my pedometer on my smartwatch, 68 miles, dude. 68 miles by the end of 2.5 days walking around Con Expo. And
That's why you're not as fat as you used to be.
No shit.
Yeah.
Con Expo. That's the Con Expo diet plan. Thanks, AEM. But yeah, I mean that's what did it, dude. It was that was too big, right? So here we get a little bit more of an intimate feel, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
I get to spend time with some of my friends, right, and do our thing there. But yeah, I think they've done well, as can be expected for the first go around, right?
Yeah.
And to do this in less than a year, plan it all out, get it all done, line everybody up, they've done well. What I love about these settings is it's intimate. You and I get to do stuff like this in the lobby.
I wouldn't have met you if it wouldn't have been for this conference.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly.
That's true. Yeah, and I think that's an advantage these ones have over stuff the size of Con Expo. So I think they've done really well. I'm still a geek, dude. Like, I'm a blacktop geek, construction geek. I love exhibit halls. I love steel. I love talking to people at their booths and stuff. I wish that may have been a little bit better done. But the nice thing is I don't have to walk. I'm not putting on. I might have done 6 to 8 miles instead of 68 miles right here. But
so this is the Fat People Conference. Is that what you're saying? That's what I heard.
They did serve us good food.
They did serve us good food,
and
yeah.
it wasn't Atkins diet shit. I will give you that. It was good. It was good stuff.
Come on. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they did. I think they did a great job. Community, to me, which I'm biased, is the most important thing to make sure is secured in our industry going forward.
Yeah.
And that was 11 out of 10 here for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree. What's your one thing? Aaron said that the other day. What's your one thing? It's my podcast, so I get to ask you the questions.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have me on your podcast, and then it'll change.
No. So, like I said, I was an introvert, man. So I like to really try to work on my weaknesses. And the one thing I worked on early on being that introvert was being... will somebody give him another green label? Let's get him one.
You're going to get me in trouble.
That's all. It's your podcast, you just told me.
Yeah.
All right. And a gin smash. One more. All right, cool. Wait, what was it? Oh, networking.
There you go.
Yeah, networking.
There you go.
Let's bring it back. See, they didn't make them strong enough. Too many limes.
And we're going to go back in this afternoon. You and I better not make noise. We'll get in trouble. We'll get thrown out.
Sure. The thing about being an introvert and having to do an extroverted
Come on.
business, right? Like social media is 100% extroverted, right? You have to be able to network, communicate, build friendships and relationships really, really well.
Yeah.
So I really hyper-focused on doing that really, really well, especially early on, because I knew that in order for somebody to join me on camera, do a podcast or do a video clip, they were probably going to have to be my friend.
Yeah.
Because a complete stranger, when I started doing this, was like, nah, we're not going to do this, man. So what I had to do was develop friendships, right, really, really well. And I did that through successful networking. To me, and that's probably the reason I'm here, right, to help Aaron and everybody at Build Wit out, is because I'm really good at networking. That's my thing, is networking. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm just so...
Hey, Dormy. Hey, Jim, with Dynapack North America. Great to see you. They may have the best rollers on the planet.
Ah, look at you. One of the things that
I'm a company man, Josh.
I can see that.
Okay.
And one, it's about making money. So, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're a CEO or someone who's uncomfortable with being on social media like myself, or you're an introvert, get off your ass. I think that's what you would say. Yeah.
As we said on our asses.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to stand up because I'm going to get another drink. My goodness.
So can I flip it now?
Yeah, go for it.
Ask some questions?
Yeah, you get to ask some questions.
All right, man.
See how I cross my arms and close my...
Super uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
get to ask me 1.5 questions.
My problem is I talk a lot, so...
Yes, same. Yeah. I think I spent so many years not talking that it's all coming out double time right here, right now. So I kind of want to know family side. Like, first of all, children.
Yeah, I have 3 kids.
Okay.
My son, who's 15, is actually here. He's on this trip.
Cool.
Blackline did a road trip to get here.
Yeah, I seen the content on LinkedIn, I think.
Yeah. So, and he came along because I want him to see what business is about.
Yeah, it's changing too, right?
It is changing.
Yeah.
It is changing every day. And I mean, I wanted him to see what hard work is about. I wanted him to see, for me, the best education was get out there and do it.
Yeah.
My dad was a tradesman when I was a young man, and I would go with Dad and work with him on the job, and I would pick things up. I would pick up, my dad was like a handyman. He did everything. He'd put in windows and doors. He was a carpenter. He did the whole 9 yards. And just like that, oh, wow.
There we go, buddy. Thanks.
Just like that, that was how I learned about hard work. That was how I learned about how to problem solve and what to do. And so that's why I want to bring my son along on this trip, because my dad used to take me to work. The difference was there's a camera in your face now, which is very different. So he's learning a lot, I hope.
Yeah. So, 15, right?
Yeah, 15.
My boy Eli, I showed you some clips beforehand.
Yeah.
Right?
He's 12, right?
He's 12, yep. He'll be 13 this winter. He'll be around with us at some of the conferences. Hope to see you around at some of those too as we connect more and do more together. But
well, I'm going to follow you because you said networking is your skill, so that's important.
It absolutely is. I'm pretty blunt with him. Like, like a lot of dads probably are like, hey, I want you to play football because it helps you learn great skills about life. I'm like, dude, I want you to play football because I need you to be jacked. He's like, oh, and I'm like. And he's like, well, you're bringing me to work because you want me to learn life skills? Like, no, dude, I don't want to fucking do this by myself forever.
Come on.
I need your ass. Like, come on. You have to learn this stuff, right? So, candidly, I just want him to be happy. So if he doesn't want to do blacktop work, I'm totally cool. But if he does decide to, I'm stacking it up on that boy for sure,
Yeah,
because that's
come
the
on.
shit that happened to me. But yeah, I think it's super super important because yeah, we do care about them and we want them to see the state of the world and how you function in it nowadays to run your business successfully. But also, dude, I need him.
Yeah.
Like I need him.
Yeah.
So I need him to at least understand how to carry the load for me for a little bit yet.
Yeah.
I know I said I was 40, but I feel young yet, so I can bear a little bit of it. I just can't bear all of it. I know
Yeah.
that, right? So, what about your other two kids?
So I have a daughter. She's 17, and then I have a
Oh,
younger
that's
son.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, mine's 15.
Okay.
Dude, I know nothing. I'm wrong about everything. Right?
Yeah.
She was crying the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "You don't understand." I'm like, "Tell me what's wrong." She's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I don't understand."
Yeah.
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 Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day, I guess.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
So, what about the last one?
My youngest, he is. I'm trying to think. That's really hard. Well, you have me.
How old's your little brother?
13. I
Yeah.
knew that.
I know you did.
Booth, if you're listening to this, I know that you're 13, and I love you.
Wait.
Yeah.
17, 15, 13.
Yeah. We were moving.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
we were moving.
I got you. I do math.
So yeah, we were moving.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I started a company, and when I quit my job and I started Legacy, because Legacy is important to me. That's what our company, our
Yeah.
original company, was named. And when I started the company, I'll never forget. I was in between getting health insurance set up for our new company. My wife comes to me and goes, "Hey,
I know how we can get health insurance.
we're pregnant."
yeah.
I'm like, "Ah, shit."
Great. Yeah, I think when did you feel like the moment came where, I mean, now looking back, it's going to be hard for you to say that this ever happened, but where did the moment come where you were like, I made it over the hill? You know, like I made it over that mountain. I'm at the mountaintop at least.
Do you want the truth, or do you want me to tell you?
No, I want the truth because
Okay.
now now I know that you're always climbing. It's not going to stop. But more naive version of Marvin thought he made it at a certain
Yeah.
point. When did that happen for you?
I'm still waiting.
Oh, really?
Honestly, it's been really hard. Like, I feel like it's blood, sweat,
Even in
and
the electric
tears.
business?
Even in the electric business, it's like
Right.
it's cutthroat. And I will say to you, I felt like things have gotten easier, like it's a muscle that I've exercised. But, you know, no, I don't feel like I've arrived. I wish I
Yeah.
did. I really do.
Did you always have a? Just turn into Blacktop Banner. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all right.
Did you have?
This is me learning from the best.
Did you have?
If you're listening, Aaron, that's what I just said.
Previous. Damn. All right. Did you ever have that? Did you have that mentality all the way up through? Because I realized that when I was younger, learning from Jack, who did own the roofing business, that all I ever wanted was a family and to own a house because I grew up in that shitty trailer I was talking
Yeah.
about, and to have a truck. I did that when I was 25. During that whole time frame, I never thought more about, well, I want this house or this many trucks and I want this. I never thought about that. So at 25, I was successful enough to get that point and went, damn, dude, you made it. You did it, dude. Then I spent time doing nothing, like drinking, kind of hanging out. And then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, you got to do something else.
Yeah.
Right? I remember specifically telling my wife, I came back and she was like, this is probably the first time I felt like depression a little bit too,
Yeah.
probably, which
Yeah.
I've struggled with anxiety and depression quite a bit after this point, but it was the first bout it ever hit me, which is kind of ironic thinking about how shitty my childhood was,
Yeah.
right? I never reflected back on that. What I had trouble with was I came back one day and she was like, what's up? She could just tell something was up, and I was like, if I go out every day and make blacktop black and come home and go to sleep and wake up and go make blacktop black and come home and go to sleep, and I have to do that for the next 40 to 50 years of my life, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
And she was like, I thought maybe your back hurt or something, like, or your feet were sore. Like all of a sudden I cracked this egg open of like an issue that like she didn't want any part of or did not understand, dude. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was really when I ventured into trying to get excited in some way, shape, or form or fashion about what I did because I was good at it. And what made me excited was the green industry. I kind of jumped into that a little bit and seen this community that was built there of people that all did the same stuff, mowed lawns and cut grass and kicked ass and got cash and everything else, and they were all talking to each other.
Absolutely.
They adopted me and were like, yeah, this is how we do social media, this is how we interact with each other, and yada, yada. And I was like, cool, I'm going to go back and do that in MySpace. Dude, I got grilled. I'm telling you, every job I posted, people are like, you're a hack.
Yeah.
Like, every piece of content I posted, they're like, dude, you don't know shit. Stop doing this. And I was like, I remember calling up my buddy Keith, who was a mentor of mine in the green industry. I'm like, dude, they're saying all this shit about it. He's like, congratulations. And I was like, congratulations. He's like, yeah, it's going to just keep coming and coming, dude. He's
Come
like,
on.
You're the tip of the spear. He's like, there's a picture of a dude standing holding his kid. He's like, and all the arrows are in his back. He's like, that's you right now.
Oh,
and
man, that's good shit.
He said, the asphalt industry community is that kid. He's like, what are you going to do? Get out of the way? He's like, you don't have a choice in this. You already did it. Time to take the arrows. And dude, I took them and took them and took them and took them and took them. Now there's dudes in our space that do what we're doing right now, do it freely, and never get ridiculed at all because somebody made it normal.
Come on.
Right? So
you're telling me in MySpace I'm going to start getting arrows in my back? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I know anybody in the electrical industry that does any of this stuff. I don't think I do.
Oh, good. Then
You're
maybe
there,
I
dude.
won't have to go through that.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, well, it's normal right here. We're making it normal somewhat, but alcohol helps out a little
It does.
bit, too.
It does help. Although this is not alcohol. It's like a juice.
You fuckers. Damn, you got intelligent people on your side. Chris would have said, make his a double. Yeah, I got to deal with his ass tonight. Make his a double. Yeah. So, what else, man?
Well, I mean, you asked me about my family and my kids.
Yeah. What's your daughter? I cut you off on that. You're going to tell me what she's interested in. What's going on?
Well, interesting thing with my daughter, we have a great relationship. She is a little bit wired like me. She's a good mix between her mom and me. Mm-hmm. And I would say probably about 7 or 8 years ago, I'm an early riser, not by choice. But, when I was young, I had paper routes and I was poor, but I didn't know that. But so I remember I wanted a Nintendo.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah. And
who didn't? Yeah.
And my mom and dad were like, fine, you want one, get a job.
Yeah.
And so I got like 6 paper routes.
Yeah.
That's an exaggeration. I got 3.
Okay.
But went out and I worked, and so I developed getting up early. Mm-hmm. And I've just never gotten away from that.
Habitual. Became habitual.
Yeah, I used to not get up early on the weekends, and that totally screwed me up. And so now I just get up early all the time.
When you're youth, neuroplasticity in your brain is...
Dude, it's my podcast. You can't sound smarter than me.
Oh,
That's
cool.
not okay.
I hear it's easier to learn stuff when you're young.
My daughter, she...
Wow.
All right, so we're done. That's a wrap. She gets up early with me.
Yeah.
So I would get up early, and she wanted to spend time with me, and she's the oldest. Mm-hmm. And so when I started the company that I had started, I would get up really early, and I would go into work. I'd go into the office because my kids weren't awake yet. My wife wasn't awake yet.
Yeah.
And she wanted to spend time with me.
Damn.
And so she would get up, and she would, I have like a quiet time. I journal in the morning, and my faith comes into that. And so I have some time in the morning that I spend doing that stuff. And so she would get up and she would watch me.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, Dad, I want to be with you. And so...
Shit, dude.
Dude, it was kind of awesome. I mean...
I hope my daughter listens to this, but yeah, she might. It's afternoon, so she'll wake up soon, I'm sure.
But it was really good. And so even to this day, she's 17.
Yeah?
She gets up at 4:30.
She's always been 17.
Yeah, that's... Wow, you're giving me shit on my own podcast. But she still gets up early at 4:30 in the morning with me, and now she actually gets up earlier than I do.
Damn, for real.
For real.
Damn.
And she gets up because she wants to have her time and then talk with me about it and then talk about her day.
That's special, man.
It is special.
Wow, dude, you're super, super, super blessed to be able to have that.
I definitely feel that.
Damn.
I definitely feel that.
Cool.
But I think that's one of the things that's important in construction. People think that you can't have a balanced life.
Yeah.
And balance is different for different people, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing is to set up boundaries and things like that so that you can protect your home life. especially in what we do.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that I've learned, and it's actually been hard for me now with moving into Blackline. It's a whole nother thing, man. Social media is on all the time.
Yeah, dude, nonstop.
Nonstop. And it's like, my wife literally said to me, 20 years of building a company, she never said this to me. She said, hey, I want Joshua back. I feel like I'm losing you.
Yeah, that's a tough one, dude. It's my wife Kelly and I have been incredibly strained because of social media and what I realized more than likely what my destiny is, right? Like, this is probably a huge part of it, and it is a stressful thing to take on, this personal legend that I'm building in order to create legacy, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what she signed up for, right? I wasn't this when we got married.
Yeah.
We sat on tailgates, fucking cracked a 6-pack once in a while over a
Come
campfire.
on.
She ain't had a campfire.
Seriously.
She ain't had a campfire in forever, and I feel bad about that. But this is something that, like, it does, dude, and you do your best to balance it out. What I have found is that those campfires every night would have got boring. The campfire once every couple months that I set aside time for and make super special, those are 10 times better than the ones that we had every night when we were
Come
younger.
on.
So that's the secret, right?
I
it.
appreciate that, seriously.
But yeah, it's tricky, dude. If ever I can help out with anything along that realm, please reach out, because it's tricky. We had no idea that it was coming,
Yeah.
and it hit us, and it was like, oh shit, okay, this is something we need to tackle. We're gonna have some issues. So we worked really hard, and we got it somewhat figured out pretty well. We know each other way better now than we did when we got married. And I think that's a crucial part of it, right?
Yeah.
So there's parts that you can't change. Like, I'd love to be able to grow my hair back for her. She loved that shit when it was here, dude. But this is one of those things about me that you just can't change.
Yeah.
And, you know, you love it or you don't love it. And I do my best with it. And I think that's what you realize. Like, as long as you're putting an effort and doing your best and they know you're doing your best,
Yeah.
usually that's what checks the box.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is for all of it. Put in your effort, work hard. You know, hard work works.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
it really does. It really does. Well, as we close here, I just wanted to say, Blacktop Banter.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a podcast. You have just.
Dude, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we're on all the common podcast outlets, right? Apple, Spotify. Probably second best podcast on Spotify, probably, I would say. Right?
Come on.
Probably first on Apple Podcasts now that Rogan left. But other than that, you know, pretty decent. Dude, we're always on social media. TikTok we do fairly well. Instagram, we're there all the time. I love, like, we connect through LinkedIn.
Yeah, we did.
Dude, LinkedIn is like the shit right now. Like, it's so ridiculously awesome versus everything else I've struggled in.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is where it's at. So if you hit me up on LinkedIn, chances are I realize you're probably legit, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, you probably are into some shit that's going to challenge me, which
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with. And chances are you make money, much like myself. It's a lot easier to do shit when we have money than it is without it, for sure.
That's what makes it work.
So, dude, I love LinkedIn, man. That's where it's at. I spend quite a bit of time on there, but that's where you can find us most of the time, man.
Awesome. I actually think LinkedIn is, for our industry and the business, I think that's where it's at.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
It might have been Instagram for a minute, but LinkedIn's where it's at. Right now, it's hot.
Yeah.
That's the shit. Like,
Yeah, I totally agree.
we're not just posting jobs and specs about jobs and
Right.
equipment.
Yeah.
Like, we're posting some cool shit on there right now.
Yeah,
So I'm cool with it.
absolutely. Awesome. Well, what is your end line? What would you close with? What is your one thing?
Yeah. So there's a good quote by Charles Bukowski, right? And it starts out with, if you're going to do it, go all the way.
Yeah, come on.
He has a great list in this quote of things that you're probably going to lose, right? But if you don't do it, you'll know that you didn't do it.
Yeah.
But to do it puts you in an elite category, and at the end, you'll be laughing with the gods racing chariots of fire across the sky.
Come on.
Right, it's like-
Absolutely.
That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to go for that one.
Yeah.
So that's
Awesome.
it, man.
Well, I would say don't quit.
Yeah.
For me, that's a personal one. And Blacktop Banter, Marvin, Joles, great to have you, man.
Dude, thanks, buddy. I
Thank you.
appreciate it, man. It's been stellar.
Awesome. Hey, thanks.
Thanks, man.
All right.